Namaste. Today under the rediscovery of Vidhanasauda, we will be briefing you about Law Commission in India. The first Law Commission in India was established in the year 1934 under the Charter Act of 1833, and this was under the chairmanship of Lord Macaulay, one of the brilliant minds in the field of law. In the year 2006, the 18th Law Commission was constituted under the chairmanship of Dr. Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, the former Judge of Supreme Court of India. It is Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, the then Chairman of the Law Commission of India, who took key interest in promoting the establishment of the State Law Commission. I don't know how many of you are aware, this judge was the main person who was behind that. Today in Karnataka we have the State Commission law. So hats off to the sir. Now Justice Lakshmanan wrote many letters to the states which did not have the State Commission, and by this people were convinced the establishment was necessary. Then the Karnataka government agreed for it and established a Law Commission for Karnataka. Accordingly, in the year 2009, the government of Karnataka constituted the Law Commission of Karnataka, constituting of a full-time chairman who shall be a retired Supreme Judge, or it can also be a full-time member who is a retired judge of the High Court of Karnataka, a full-time member secretary who shall be a retired district judge also, and similarly ex-official honorary members like Advocate General of the Karnataka, Principal Secretary of the Government Law Department, and Secretary Karnataka Legislative Chancellor, Karnataka State Law University, and so and so. On 14/1/2009, the government appointed former Chief Justice of Courts of High Court of Karnataka and Kerala, the former member of the National Human Rights Commission, Honorable Nadoja Dr. Justice V.S. Malimath, who was the first person, the chairman of the State Law Commission, and his headquarters was at room number 302 and 308 at the Vidhanasauda, Bengaluru. After his lordship, Honorable Nadoja Dr. Justice V.S. Malimath demitted the office on completion of 5 years term. The government of Karnataka appointed former Chief Justice of Chhattisgarh and the founder chairman of the Karnataka State Human Rights Commission, Honorable Justice Dr. S.R. Commission of Karnataka, who demoted the office June 2019 on completion of his tenure of 5 years. Thereafter, in the month of September 2019, the government appointed the former Chief Justice of Kerala and the former Chairperson of Maharashtra State Human Rights Commission, Honorable Mr. Justice S.R. Banurmath, as the Chairman of the Law Commission. After serving as the Judge of the High Court of Karnataka for more than 12 years in the year 2009, his Lordship was elevated as the Chief Justice of High Court of Kerala. During his tenure as a judge, he has rendered hundreds of landmark judgments in every branch of law and especially in the criminal law, giving new dimensions to the criminal justice system, safeguarding interest of the accused, victims and the society. He assisted Judge V.S. Malimath Commission on reforms on criminal justice system, especially on victimology. It was mentioned that in order to bring transparency in the judiciary, he was the first Chief Justice in India who declared his assets along with all the other judges of Kerala High Court and posted them on the website of the Kerala High Court in September 2009. In fact, on the day of his retirement, Justice Shri V.R. Krishna Iyer, former Supreme Court Justice and acclaimed jurist of the international repute, wrote thus: "To honor the great Chief Justice Banurmath, the Chief Justice of Kerala, I join you to pay homage to the high noble functionary. He was a great judge and the qualities of a good justice, in the words of Socrates, run thus: 4 things belong to the judge: to hear courteously, to answer wisely, to consider soberly, and to decide impartially." His departure leaves a void in the judiciary of the Kerala, because it is difficult to find a man of his humility, erudition, compassion and gentlemanliness. He is too young to retire as his rich services and needed for the country at a time when judiciary is normally losing its sublime status. Our nation is glorious because there are good Banurmats. So far, the Law Commission of Karnataka has submitted 56 reports on various important subjects, apart from giving options to the government, and also considered number of petitions, complaints received by the public. Hereby, I ask Mr. Gnanashakher to brief even much more about the Law Commission of Karnataka. Thank you. Namaste. This is under rediscovery of Vidhanasauda, Vasantha Kavitha.
But this iconic institution where I am standing now is not only a place for the legislature and the executive. It is also a place for one wing of the judiciary. That is what I am going inside to study something, the functioning aspects of Law Commission of Karnataka. This has been headed by a chairperson, Justice S.R. Bannurman. Let me go inside. His room number is 302. Let me go inside how this chamber looks like. Inside this chamber, it's been in a very compact manner. It is being arranged with a beautiful infrastructure which is there. And right behind, sir, you see the preamble, which is the preamble of the Constitution, which constantly inspires. And we have the justice photos. The first justice, V.S. Malimat, who has given 33 reports to the government, and again, Nadoja, Dr. Justice S.R. Naik, he has also given around 18 reports. And now the present chairperson, Justice S.R. Bannurman, sir, is sitting here, and he will just exactly tell what exactly, his reports which he has submitted to the state government. Over to Justice S.R. Bannurman, sir.
The terms of reference of the Law Commission, or the job of the Law Commission, is to rectify defects in existing laws, repeal obsolete laws which are unnecessary, suggest or advise the government in framing proper laws, and to interact with the other departments wherever it is required. They interact with us regarding some legal problems and how the law to be looked into, and if necessary, what are the changes to be made. So far, I have taken charge in 2019, and because of the COVID, we couldn't work much for the last 2 years. However, we have submitted 4 reports. They are called as the report number 52 to 56. The amendment to the Cooperative Societies Act, then obsolete laws, more than 100 laws which were obsolete, which were unnecessary. We have directed the government to repeal them, and they have probably already repealed also. Then we have suggested new law, uniform common law governing the trusts, public trusts as well as private trusts. There were 2 decisions regarding Hindu Religious Charitable Trust and Bombay Public Trust Act. They were set aside by the courts. So we suggested new law should be enforced regarding the trust. That we have made a recommendation under the report. Need for uniform common law for the Karnataka public trust. And taking into consideration the violence in Kejahali and Dijahali, we suggested to the government to pass a new law called as Karnataka Prevention of Damages to Person and Property Act.
That is the UP model.
No, it is our independent model. Totally independent model. They have passed small laws, but we have dealt deeply, and mainly because of the mob violation. The violation is by somebody. Few people, those who are not part of the organization or procession, etc., they commit the violence. But it is the responsibility of the organizers to see that the procession or whatever meetings you are holding must be peaceful, and they don't cause damage to the public property or private property. We have introduced first time the organizers will be responsible if there is any violation, violence to the public or private properties.
A very progressive law.
Progressive law we have suggested to the government. Of course, various government departments ask us to look into the laws and suggest them what are the changes to be made according to their. We look into that, and we have got a lot of research papers also going on. The research work is also going on. Basically, this commission consists of chairman, one who is the Chief Justice, then member who is the former judge of the Karnataka High Court, and member secretary is the former district judge. Apart from three of us, mainly, we have about 6 ex officio officers who are the members of the commission. Whenever commission has to take decision, we meet 6 plus 3, 9 people meet, discuss, and then final reports will be submitted to the government. Those include Advocate General, then Law Secretary and Parliamentary Secretary, etc. As senior counsels also, they are there, secretaries are there. We meet and then we discuss. That comprises the entire commission.
And indeed, the Justice S.R. Banurmat sir gave a very brief note about this commission as well as in his tenure. What was exactly the progressive laws have been taken was explained by him very, very aptly. And not only that, he's being guided by some of the case laws which is just behind it, and these are all very research backed. And this is the need of the hour, and particularly in a democratic country where India is said to be very progressive. Progressive legislations can be done, and this is the main purpose of constituting this law commission. In fact, I had an opportunity to work with Justice Shattar Saab, and who was a key person to bring this law commission into existence. This is Gnanashakher. This has been done under the rediscovery of Vidhanasabha, initiated by Srimati Vasantha Kavitha, and inputs by Kavitha as editor Rajya Dharma, and presented by Gnanashakher.